see if any other boards respond, like the fire department, the police department. I think it's the assessors. I know you're on there. ComCom will get an email, but they already signed off on it. So Board of Health.
Hi, Kathy. It's Melissa. I gotta get my thing on.
Hi, Melissa. How you doing?
Good, good.
Good.
I'm flying a little bit without a keyboard. I'm having a little bit of a tech issue.
Oh, I love that. That was me the other night with the
Oh,
weather.
oh yeah, you guys. Oh my goodness. And then I followed it by another day of weather. Like
Yeah, I know. You can't avoid it these days.
you can't. Nope, nope. Although today was a little bit better, the less humidity.
Definitely. Yeah.
And I'm just trying to get this keyboard to uh, Bluetooth with this. Let's see. Bluetooth. Discoverable. Add device.
So you figured out how to join, huh, Kathy?
I did. It wasn't there earlier, so I didn't know if we were using the same one as ComCom like we did the other night with the
Oh,
select
so you
board.
know to go to the website and choose the link.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
it just
Becky
didn't,
probably
it
didn't
it wasn't showing up, so I wasn't sure.
right. Sometimes Becky doesn't realize until it's time for the meeting and then she posts it.
Okay, I'll know not to panic in the future.
There'll be emails going around if it's not there at 6:30.
Yeah.
Nano receiver. Technology is so fun.
Which technology are you talking about?
Well, in this case, a keyboard. My keyboard kind of, I was limping it along. You know, some keys weren't working unless you
Yes.
hit them 3 times. So I finally said, well, it's time to get a new keyboard. And I didn't go out and get one. So I'm trying this wireless thing that I'm not sure who found or brought to us or whatever, but you know, I might do it later. I'll use the keyboard on the laptop. Not my favorite. I don't like touchpads.
No, they're tough to use.
Yeah. I'll do it this way.
All right, does our chair know that we're meeting today?
She did do the agenda, right?
Yes, she'd know. She and I have been in communication. She definitely knows.
Are you just trying to scare us?
Nah, well, you know, just making idle talk. Where's April? Was April going to make it? She didn't.
I think she's not going to be here tonight. I don't know why. I'm thinking Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, really? She didn't say anything. She was at the finance committee meeting on Tuesday.
You're right. I'm sure she's on her way. She's just getting in from work.
Yeah, it's a work day for her.
That's right. Okay. Okay.
Oh, here comes Peg.
Yeah, we were getting excited a whole minute early.
Yes, I guess. Always ready to go.
You're still muted, Peg. And here's April too.
Oh, that great view in April's backyard.
It's out on the deck.
Looks good.
Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you.
Hi, April. Oh, she's muted too. My God,
Been
we're all-
late. I had to work today,
what?
Brian.
Oh, that's good. That warms you up. That warms you up for our meeting.
I know.
Oh, yes.
Where did
I hear what you're saying.
And there's Becky.
Welcome, Mary, Kathy, and long time no see, Melissa. Good to see you.
No,
Yes.
it's good not to be in a car on a Thursday.
Yeah. I think one time you were in a meeting, you were at a restaurant eating.
Yes. Yes, I was.
That'll
guys
give,
are
that'll give me
diehard.
indigestion.
Well, not the personnel board. Other boards do, but not
Yeah,
that one.
I'm sure that's true. Good point. Yeah, that's one nice thing about this committee.
Right.
The
So,
spirit of Ralph,
Yeah, go ahead, George.
I was just gonna say the spirit of Ralph Armstrong lives.
Right? With humor and wit.
Yes.
Yes. It was hard to
Um,
stay on this planet.
Yeah, he can definitely get sidetracked and go pretty far off topic.
Yeah, but not us.
No. Never.
So
I
George,
wouldn't want to be the chair of this committee.
Not in a million years.
Chair, do you have, George, would you have another assignment? Do you have another committee assignment from?
Oh,
being-
yeah, I'm gonna be on the capital planning committee.
Not as much fun.
Well,
True.
I don't know. It can get contentious on that committee. We could, yeah, I'll try and make it fun, okay? I'll try and bring the spirit of the personnel board with me.
Well, do that, do that.
And I'm on the assessors board, and we're definitely not fun, but it's a
No.
good board.
You're
No,
not
that's
fun.
boring.
It
That's
is-
not fun.
It is boring.
It is boring. Okay,
Fun.
I got my lemonade.
I was on capital planning when it was the first year they had the committee, and it was just like, well, okay, we got to get this going. It was years and years and years ago.
That sounds like a lot of work, putting together the
It
schedules.
was. Yeah.
You
It
on the
was.
select board then? Was that when you were on the select board?
I don't know if that was after or during. I can't remember. That was eons ago, back in history, you know? So is Becky coming back?
I don't know.
Shall we go ahead and start?
I see hands. There we go. Becky?
Has she been kidnapped?
I don't know.
Sorry, we have a Zoom emergency with Concom. I'm trying to help Carrie.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
be back in a minute.
Okay,
So
don't worry.
Becky, we'll get started on our minutes and stuff, or do you want us to wait for you?
Go. Please go ahead. That's great.
Okay,
I can hear you.
all right, sounds good. Okay, well, let's call this meeting to order. It is
6:35.
6:35. And George, are you taking minutes or?
I am taking minutes. I will take the minutes for this meeting.
Thank you. Okay, that's great. I know that you really, you'll miss this part of that.
Well, actually, it's my new duty on the finance committee.
Oh, well, then
Yeah.
you're all set.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
You'll be fine.
I'm
Well,
sure.
okay, so did anybody, let's call the meeting to order. It's been called to order at 6:35. Did everybody have a chance to read over the minutes? And
Yes, I just did a glance at them.
are there any changes that need to be made to the minutes?
No.
Okay. Well, all those in favor of?
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes.
Okay. I second that motion.
Arvanitis, aye.
Ross, I.
Make peace, O'Neill, I.
Stein, eye.
Okay, we're all set because Kathy wasn't here. Okay, and there's one more, Kathy, there's one more member of our committee, Anne, who couldn't make it tonight, so you'll meet her next time.
Okay.
And, okay, so let's moving on. Let's go to our agenda. Okay, let's talk about, well, we can't, do we know, there's Becky. The
Yeah,
sta-
we need Becky.
Yeah, the status of the administrative secretary position, Becky,
That is still open.
still open.
Have there been any candidates?
No, no.
Shoot.
How are things going without
Yeah.
that position?
There's a lot to do.
A lot of
Yeah.
hours, Becky.
Well, I got sick, so I couldn't do more hours. Yeah, no,
Oh.
I'm taking most of the weekends because I gotta. But things are I'm keeping things afloat, and the excellent news is Geneva has jumped in and she's caught up with our backlog on my PFAS letters and the minutes, so I am getting a lot of help.
So you have a volunteer helping you.
No, Geneva Bickford was my admin secretary. I got her back on the payroll, and she has come in about 2 or 3 Fridays, and then she's taken work home, and it's very helpful. So
Good.
that's really getting through closing out the year and the auditor's work.
Good. Well, that's good.
Awesome.
Geneva. How do you spell Geneva?
Geneva, just like Switzerland.
Yep, got it. Bickford, okay, got it.
And so she'll be able to do this until we find,
Her new job, she works Monday through Thursday. So she hasn't been able to do work every week, like she won't be in this Friday, and she's, she has other events she has to take care of, so. But overall, it's a huge help.
Well, how did you talk her into doing that?
She took pity on me. And I gave her enough time away, so it would be kind of fun to come back.
Good idea.
well, that's good. I hope we find somebody soon. That'll take a lot of pressure off of you, Becky.
Yeah.
Yes, it would.
That's huge. That's huge.
It is huge. We really need that position filled.
Yeah.
I'm going to reach out to my friend again, my friend's son again, and tell him to. He said he knew somebody who was interested. I'm going to ask him to give that
Good.
person a nudge.
Yeah, that would be great.
I will do that.
And yeah, same goes for anybody here, if anybody has any idea of anybody that might wanna. How many hours, Becky?
25
25.
And it's
So it's-
benefited.
benefited.
All right.
Yep. And it's a great work environment,
Good boss.
great boss.
Bosses.
Yes, many. Anyway.
Well, that's where people start to not like a job. Having multiple bosses is not fun.
No, that would be challenging.
It can be challenging.
I've got 4,
Man,
1 for each project.
And each one of them tells you their project is the most important one.
Yeah, and I just say, well, sorry, that's gonna have to wait until Wednesday.
Exactly.
That's it. You just got to stand your ground.
okay, moving on. Status of the land use clerk position. How's that going?
Carrie is very helpfully helping us bridge till the 24th when Doc can start. So
So we have a new person.
we have a new person.
Yes, and
Yep.
who is that? Can you tell us about that?
Sure. You might, did any of you read the reminder when we were getting it? I think we're still getting it, but he was a reporter for the reminder, and he had come to Shutesbury. He did a story on our police chief and on our town clerk, and he would call on various issues. And so he ended up liking Shutesbury, and he heard about the land use clerk position. He was feeling like the paper is struggling, and he wanted something more stable. So he inquired about it, and I sent out his resume. We interviewed him, and here we are. Yeah, the 3 chairs of the land use boards interviewed him, and all recommended him to the select board.
That's great news. That's really great news.
Yeah.
July 24th, is that what you said?
Yeah, he had some prior commitments to take care of. So
No, that's
now we need to, and Carrie is being so wonderful. She is also, I mean, she's still dealing with the ZBA. She's still on board, even though she can't come in for office hours. She's facilitating everything that she can from afar. And she also wants to be sure to meet with Doc and go through the office and the procedure book, and make sure he gets the ground laid out for him, and she'll
That's
be
great.
available for questions.
Yes, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's really good.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So in other words, train. She's going to train this person.
Yeah.
Is that
I
a
think-
safe thing to say for the minutes?
There's no way to combine the land use clerk with the administrative secretary. Is that, and make it a
Not
full-time job?
legally anymore, because they're both at 25 hours.
Okay. But really, I just have to commend the, the people, Geneva and Carrie, Casey,
Carrie,
just how, how much they've put into it and are willing to help, fill in the gaps. It's
Yeah.
it's a
Great
good
to
thing.
have people like that. There's no
Yeah.
question about it. You know,
It
those
makes
are
the
farm
difference
people.
when, she could have just given us 2 weeks notice at any point and then we'd be like, but
Right.
it's been really, really great. Yeah, you're right.
Good. Well, that's one problem solved. That's nice to know. And the police contract, Becky, that, I'm assuming that is finalized?
Yes, I saw some question about who had the signed copy. I have to follow up with Devin what he was asking about.
Okay,
That
so
is
when did that
great.
happen? What day in July? It was in July, right? When did
No, the contract was signed in June, no,
oh,
early June.
oh, early June? No, I don't think so. When we were trying to,
Well, our last meeting was
that's
May
right, we
30th.
didn't meet. I'm getting mixed up. We didn't meet.
Right. We
Sorry,
never met in June, right?
right.
Just
Okay,
in time for the fiscal year. That's good.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
fabulous.
was confused because we didn't meet last month. How about the final results of the school union negotiations? I'm totally,
There aren't any final results. We had a meeting. Oh, we were supposed to have a meeting on July 15th. It was recently, and it hadn't gotten posted by the Irving Union 28.
oh,
So we ended up unable we had prepared, I think there was we had a theoretical, I'm not supposed to say anything. Anyway, the meeting did not happen.
it did not happen. So do you know when it's posted for? When,
I think they're shooting for early August. I don't think I don't have a confirmed date yet.
Okay. okay,
What
So
happens?
they may not have a contract before school starts.
Yeah, that was my question. What happens if that happens?
Oh, it's happened before. Whenever the contracts are finalized, they make good of all the commitments.
Retroactive with the pay, with the
All
pay
time
increase.
periods for that time.
Yeah, but I meant the teachers that are going to work without a contract. I'm not worried about them making good on the contract. I'm worried about teachers going to work without a contract.
No.
And saying, no, I'm not going to work without a contract.
Yeah, is that a concern?
The language of the contract keeps it in place until it's negotiated.
So they can't do that.
Beyond the
Because-
expiration date.
Yeah. They're
So
still under
there's a-
contract and until they, they have some leeway. If things totally fell apart, which I don't believe they will, I think there could be a concern. But
So look-
people are, there's good faith on both sides trying to figure out how to, make compromises.
And there's lots of
And again, I'm
changes.
not supposed to say anything.
But there's a new principal, new superintendent. I mean, there's a lot of changes that I think are contributing.
That's a good point.
And anyway,
We also are in a very different employment world across the country, too. And so just there's that out there, too. A very different employment world.
meaning what?
People don't necessarily feel that they need to have full-time work anymore.
I'm not sure, but anyway, times are changing.
oh, yes.
I'm just glad there's a clause that they can all work under in the existing contract. That's good news.
Okay, how about result of select board employee contract negotiations? How are things coming along there?
Give the police contract one? No, we talked about that.
No, we did that. This
Okay.
is E, result of select board.
No, that's fine. I missed the police one.
Okay,
Well, this is Becky's contract, right?
yeah, Becky's contract, basically.
I don't have a contract.
Okay.
You don't have a contract? Does
Not-
yours have a clause to go into the new year?
Nope. I am Yeah, I get confused where executive session stops, but this is just public information at this point, I think. Would you agree, Melissa?
Yeah, I think we just, yeah. So, and I think the other thing we can say is it's an at-will employee position currently.
So, so you can't talk about it. I mean, you've been working on this for over 6 months, no? Melissa, the select board wanted to take this over back in December, is that correct?
Yes. Yep. And I think what we could share is that we have presented a contract to Becky. I don't know how much in detail we can give.
Right. Well, I get that. Totally. get
So, well, this is a bit concerning, no?
it. Mhm.
I mean, uh, usually the contract negotiations go pretty, I mean, the contract negotiations go pretty quick. I mean, what was there a sticky point? I mean, usually the FinCom and the personnel board are involved and these things go pretty quick. Sometimes there's a negotiation, but 6 months?
We had town meeting in there too, so there was some delays in meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting. And so we did. You can look at the schedule. We didn't meet all that often for the negotiation contracts.
I know that this may sound kind of out of left field, but would it make sense if it to maybe shift, maybe to include select board in the
Select
FinCom and
FinCom and
the,
personnel board, yeah, back to the way we were doing it. Would that help, Melissa?
I think that the select board had decided to do it in this manner because they wanted to take it on and do it directly.
They must have had a reason.
Yeah, which is an executive session. So
So they weren't following the normal policy. I mean, we know that because
I don't believe there's a specific written policy. I think it has just been a kind of an accepted practice. There isn't an actual policy. So, but the select board, because the select board has taken over other negotiations. Walters was specific. We took over Walters from the negotiating team.
and that was because Walter was.
No, yeah.
I mean, Lenny's.
So it got to a stalemate for them. So,
I think she means Walters when we had that special.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah. There was a
When Walter
stalemate
was
there.
unwilling to sign a contract, right?
Yeah, and I think the team had come. There was a stalemate there. There wasn't going to be any. So that the select board had taken that over. And I think they felt that this was one that they wanted to be able to do this time around themselves.
Well, if it continues, I mean, if there's an issue, I think I like April's idea. I mean, we can join the executive sessions, can we not?
If we're part of the committee.
If invited.
If invited, right.
Well, so you're the point person for the select board on this?
The three of us had participated in the practice the whole way through and through executive session. We had met, the three of us, and then we had met with Becky several times. I can say that because it's out online when we met with her. So, but it wasn't a consistent. There was a lot of time in between each meeting that occurred, which had.
Yeah, I would have thought that. I understand. I certainly do understand that. And I know you were very busy, Melissa. I just was thinking.
Well, no, the select board was it was matching up times and such,
I was just thinking if, as we got closer to the end of the fiscal year, that those meetings would have been scheduled a little more frequently and it would have been cleaned up. But Becky,
we met more frequently toward the end.
But still no contract.
We made 4 times, I think, between May and the middle of June.
So if when it's signed, the pay rate that you all agree to will be retroactive to July 1st.
I believe that's usually how most contracts work.
Yeah, right. I would think so too, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
But as an at-will, I would have gotten the same increase as the rest of the town.
Oh, right.
So you got the 3.3, I think it was, but
Which is all I've ever asked for in my contract, except for that unusual year when the negotiating committee kept insisting on making increases.
Sorry.
okay, so So that will get adjusted one way or the other, or might not have to be, but we won't comment on that because I guess it's in second. If Becky doesn't sign it and there's more negotiations, I'd like to represent the finance committee. I mean, it's up to AJ, not me. And somebody from the personnel board, I would like that, Melissa, if we could do that.
Okay, I'd have to ask the other two members in an executive session, or we'd have to figure out. Oh, it's housekeeping, right? So I can ask them that question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just seems so out of the ordinary that it's taken this long and that we've actually started the fiscal year.
Is there a timeline, on Becky's part? Is there a timeline on your part, Becky? Can I just ask that for a response, for your response, or not?
Not at this point.
Okay,
There's no timelines.
well, I think that we need to move on from this at this point. And April and, but, sorry.
Oh, no,
Right.
I was just wondering if we should make a formal vote that we would like to have a representative from the personnel board at the next, or at an executive session to help facilitate. I'm not sure what the wording would be.
Oh, I think that's good. That's good. In the event that negotiations continue, facilitate or
Or reach a stalemate.
participate.
Yeah. Because it's already a committee. We wouldn't have a voting, other people, it wouldn't have a vote unless the committee
Well,
chose to change.
It was a select board, so yeah, that's a good point. We would have to create a committee. Is that normally what happens when a negotiation starts on a contract?
Yes, yes, one was created and then disbanded.
Well, even if we don't have a vote, we could
No,
still.
Becky, this one started from the start. That's what we told you, that we wanted to have the 3 select board members from the start.
Melissa, prior to the select board saying that, I had brought it to the other committees
Oh, okay.
and I had let the select board know that who was going to be appointed from the other committees.
Oh, I thought we had gotten ahead of that process.
No, it was
No.
close, it was, I think that triggered the conversation.
Even if we're not a part of the committee, we could participate though, if we're invited to the executive session.
I believe, yes, you could certainly listen, and offers would be a part of the conversation if invited. If we changed, then you could vote with that committee, but that would
Right.
depend on what Eric or Rita also wanted to do.
So maybe the personnel board could just vote on that we are recommending that a representative from the personnel
recommendation,
board
yeah.
Attend the next executive session on contract and negotiation. And I don't know, and if needed, would be part of a forming of a new committee. But at this point, it wouldn't be,
Yeah.
I guess the vote would be just to
Let's
attend.
keep it broad and just say want to participate in any future negotiations from this point forward
Yeah.
regarding the completion of this contract.
Yeah,
I don't think you need to go further and say forming a new committee. I think you
Yeah.
just go back. I think that's not required at this
I
point.
think that makes sense.
I'd like
mean,
to.
This would be the case. I think if in any stuck, like if this was the police chief or the fire chief or a highway superintendent, that this would be a role that the finance committee and personnel board would like to offer help. It's not just, it's just this particular contract, but any department head.
Yeah, in this case, my concern is how long it's been. And we're in the new fiscal year. I would second that if you made that motion.
I made the motion.
You want to go ahead and make it again, April?
Right. I move that the personnel board communicate with the select board that we would like representation. We would like
Recommendation for
Okay.
representation.
recommendation that we attend the next contract negotiation meeting.
We and the finance committee.
And yeah, well, we can't we can't vote for the,
No, we
Right.
can't, but we can make the recommendation that they also
Yeah,
be
right.
included
That's
like
right.
they normally
that's
are.
right, that's right. That we would like to go back to that system.
Okay, George, do you
Practice,
have that?
because it wasn't a policy, so it's practice.
Yeah.
Okay, George, can you read do you have that down yet?
No, I do not. The
It's-
commit, but April
that-
keeps changing it.
I know. I'm
I think what
left-handed.
she was saying is she'd like to move that the personnel board recommend to the select board that a personnel board rep
Member.
and a FinCom rep be included in future negotiations with the town administrator, and return to the practice of including them in other negotiations.
Well said.
And
Excellent.
Thank you.
And so it's, all right, so here's what I got. Personnel board communicate to the select board. I'll clean up the language. Communicate board to the select board, we recommend that a member of the PB and FC be included in future negotiations with the town administrator. And what was that part about? And as is typically the practice, as is,
I said returning and for other,
oh, I like that.
the practice for other negotiations.
With
All right.
department
And
heads.
practice for other.
Yeah, okay, to
Because
the,
don't we have police chief coming up this year?
And fire.
I think fire is right on the edge of next year.
Okay, that's right.
I want to say they were both this year. They were both in the same.
I checked it, I was thinking that, and that's why I think his contract is like in September of the following year. I mean, Kristen's was at the very end, so they were very close together.
That's right. Okay,
okay, I got it.
all
All
right.
right.
So
The minutes.
Okay, here we go. Go ahead, George.
Arvanitis, aye.
Ross, I.
I'm going to abstain because I'm already on the committee for the.
Okay,
That makes sense.
Salvador, I.
and Stein, I.
All right. Okay, moving on from that. How are we doing on the progress on the personnel handbook?
I have to give a final copy to you all, so I will send that along this week. I'll look over it this weekend. So.
Oh,
Wow.
you're that close.
Yeah,
That's great.
We're close. We're
Yeah,
close.
that is great.
Wow.
All right.
That was my project for this
Can,
weekend.
can,
It's gonna be hot, so I'm gonna put
yeah.
my feet up in front of the air conditioner.
that's wonderful. Becky, do you want to give a history of what is the last personnel handbook? What was the-
312.
Give it to Kathy. What? The history of
The history of the what? The manual, the handbook?
the personnel handbook. What is the date on the most? On
The most recent copy, the date is 2012.
That's
So-
only 12 years.
So this is great, and it's been a long process because we've had a lot of other things come up, and Melissa's been really busy with
Um,
with a lot of other things going on, the change of jobs and select board issues and everything.
And there's a lot that was not in the personnel book that we
Right.
had that needed to be updated.
Yeah,
to
that's,
fit just normal HR business practices.
so the personnel board will get a chance to look at this draft update in the next meeting.
Yes.
Yes.
Great, that's
I'll
great.
bet you, George, you're gonna want to be there.
Hey, the instinct,
My
reflex
feeling is it'll
action, I
take a
might
few
be here.
meetings to go through this because it's
Yeah.
going to be a lot. It's going to be it's not going to be a pamphlet size book. I have a feeling there's going to be multiple pages added.
It's nice to have Kathy here. Oh, the motorcycle. I don't know if you can hear those motorcycles. But
Is that
Kathy,
coming for your microphone or my microphone?
oh, probably both of them. They're going down Leverett
Hear that.
Road.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I can hear them loud and clear.
Ay, ay, ay. But Kathy, with your experience, this will be really, having your eyes on it will be very
Yes,
nice.
yeah.
I've written lots of handbooks over the years.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Awesome.
God.
That's
Yeah.
Have they-
great.
any of them become movies? No.
They should have.
Movies.
The reasons behind writing them should have become movies.
I'm sure in HR, you could have lots of movies. You could probably even do a little, a mini drama.
Yeah, I could change
Come on.
some names to protect the guilty.
Yeah, I grew up by Smith and Wesson. I grew up in East Springfield.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I had lots of friends who would work there. I knew a lot of people who worked at Smith and Wesson.
I
Big
know
employer in
Shutesbury,
Springfield.
I probably
Yeah.
hired them all,
You might even fired one or two.
maybe.
No, none of them got fired. They all were very successful in their careers.
Good, good.
Man, perfect timing for you to have you come on the board. And like I said, I'll bet you we'll see George pop up. And he'll say,
Yeah,
well,
well, the one thing to that, while I'm just thinking about it, I offered, I've been doing the alignment study every year.
which has been wonderful.
Yeah, and then we do it every 3 years. So I'll do it this winter.
You can't
And
give
I'll
it up.
send it along to you, Peg, when it's done, and maybe Becky for review. And then, so because somebody's gonna have to do it after that, or I can even train somebody, but I think everybody knows how I do it. You can tell what I'm doing when you look at it. But
I
will-
don't, I know basically what you're doing, but I do.
well, I present the summary. I don't present the
Right.
meat, the meat and potatoes that get us to the numbers, but if you dig backwards, and again, I can show somebody how to do it, but I will definitely do it because I know it was a big part of our conversation for
Good.
next year's COLA conversation. And also,
Yeah.
I can do the COLA and I can do that as a part of the finance committee too. And I can also give that to somebody else if they want to try their hand at it. The COLA calculation, it's not that hard, really. It's just looking up the index off the CPI and then dropping it into a formula. But again, those things, I've been doing them, and so I can continue to do those at least for one more year. The COLA, I'll be on the FinCom. The FinCom can just do that.
Yeah.
That job can follow me. So just want to let you know, I'll at least do those things.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I think we're going to find that the COLA wasn't keeping us up to date. I think we're still slipping behind.
That's why we wanted to do it 2 years in a row, because it was looking that way.
Yeah.
No, that your volunteerism is much appreciated.
Well, I'm happy to help.
You haven't failed at retirement.
I
No, actually, this is helping me in retirement. It keeps my hands busy.
Keeps you
I'm
busy.
out of trouble.
Yeah, well, your volunteerism, your enthusiasm, and your expertise. And I have a question. Who knows how to share the screen? Melissa, you do, I know that.
Yep.
But what happens when you're in your car on your way coming home from Boston?
Well, I can explain how to. I can tell someone how to do it over the phone.
Peg,
Oh.
I know how to share the screen.
Yeah, I think most people know how to share a screen.
I panicked when I thought, oh my God.
Actually,
Might even teach you.
actually,
About it.
the thing somebody's gonna have to learn is how to post meetings.
What, George?
I've been posting the meetings, so somebody's gonna have to take that
Yes.
over.
Right. I suppose I should do that, but I have never done it, so I will learn how to do that. You offered to do it and I thought, great.
Well, I'm happy to show you how, but I think you're gonna have to get login credentials for the,
Oh,
From Grace.
yeah, you'll have to talk to Grace.
okay.
If you send her an email and just tell her George has been posting the personnel board meetings and now I need to do it, she'll help you. And once you get login credentials, Becky, if you could set up a Zoom, the three of us can go on and I can just walk Peg through it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not that hard, Peg. It's pretty simple.
Okay, so this is posting and what do I need? Login credentials, you said?
Yeah, for the site where you,
My town government site.
yeah, Becky knows better than I.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to do that before the next meeting. Oh, man.
Pressure's on.
I have faith in you, Peg, that you'll be able to do it.
You'll be able to do it, Peg.
Definitely.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I'm gonna be gone for a little bit in August, but it should work. I'm not gonna be gone that long. so-
Next meeting is August 15th.
Yes. Okay, so
You can
before.
post it now.
Oh, wow, yeah, I really do have to do that. Okay. I wonder if I'm gonna be back by then. Okay, I'll check that out.
Be good if you check your calendar, Peg. Yeah.
Yeah, I will do that. Actually, let me do that right now. I'm leaving for a second. I'll be back.
I heard that Lake Wyola is closed for bacteria. Are other people hearing that?
Is that true?
The state beach?
It was open
Probably.
Tuesday.
I know I swam Tuesday.
Given how much rain we got last night, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, I'll tell you, I rode my bike through Leverett and Montague today. Wow.
really?
There's some damage, a lot of
Yeah.
debris on the roads.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I,
and some big trees down. There was power crews working on East Chestnut Hill Road.
Oh,
Yeah. Becky, was your mom okay? And your sister?
she thought my sister's house got hit because she thought it was next door. She said there were 2 or 3 boomers that just made her think that lightning was striking all the houses around her. But
Oh,
I heard
God.
Wendell got it really bad.
Oh,
They
is that true?
Oh,
No, I was
Yeah,
on Lady
I
Slipper Lane and there was definitely a bolt of lightning that came down from the sky. Or
Did
went
you
up
see
to
the color of
or
the
went-
sky on Tuesday?
That
Yeah.
was a tornadic thunderstorm.
Yeah,
The sky was just eerie on Tuesday.
That
Yeah.
was almost green.
Yeah,
That's a
that was
tornado.
scary.
There was rotation, but I don't think it came down. So there was rotation in the clouds.
Yeah.
I went outside to look and then immediately went inside
yeah.
where the lightning rods are protecting the house.
Oh, the finance committee was meeting and we all started getting the message and it's like, it
It's like,
says here we should be in
should
the
we go to
basement.
the basement?
Yeah.
your phone, yeah, your phone's, everybody's phone went off, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it was, woo,
And it was pretty clear, get in your basement now.
yeah.
Mhm.
We had friends over, so we were playing some games, so we went down the basement, set up the card table, put up the chairs and played games. It was so-
I moved to the other side of the living room away from the window.
Yeah.
I was watching the radar so I could see that it hadn't come down yet.
It's good you weren't in the car driving, oh my God, I can't.
Right.
My
and
sister
that's
was,
the-
but I was not.
Oh, wow. Can we meet instead of the 15th? I'm coming back the afternoon of the 14th. Can we meet the next week? Is there any problem with that? Meeting
not for me. That's fine.
the 22nd? Is that okay?
22nd is good for me. I may not be in Boston that day or Brookline.
Okay. Let's
My
go with the
project is supposed to be finishing, so I shouldn't have to travel too much there anymore.
Okay, well then why don't we change it from the 15th to the 22nd? Okay,
That would be fine.
all right, okay, appreciate that.
We need to let Anne know.
Yes, I will let her know.
Okay, great.
At the same time, 6:30.
Yes, yes.
And just, it's in, you, when you sent the agenda the other day to me, you had also mentioned September 19th. So I'm going to put that in the minutes tentatively anyways.
Okay,
I'll put that on my calendar too.
okay.
You said
Alright.
the 19th.
Yeah,
George?
September.
19th of September, if that works for everybody. And I'll let
Yeah.
Ann know those, I'll let Ann know those 2 dates. We usually see her on dog walks and haven't seen her the last couple weeks, so. Has anybody seen her?
I ran into her once. She said her dog got quilled and
Yeah.
it's sort of,
Oh,
That was a while back.
I've done my fair share pulling those.
oh, that's a tough one.
so
Well,
I
he
don't,
got a really bad quill in his paw and he had to be, this is almost a puppy, 2-year-old puppy. And the vet said he had to pretty much be off his feet for 2 weeks. Well,
Oh.
how do you keep a pup off their feet for 2
Oh,
weeks?
that's hard.
Yeah, it was rough. It was tough, but that's beyond that. That's gotta be at least 3 weeks ago now. Okay,
Right.
so moving on to future business, hiring practices for the police and fire department. We have strong chiefs. Does
Mhm.
anybody want to explain that one to Kathy? Or do we have, at this point, we were talking about making employee appointments. The strong chief can make an employee appointment.
They can, yeah, they can interview and decide who they hire, bring it to the
Right.
select board for appointment. Yep.
Right,
So Becky, were you going to research that with legal counsel?
yes, she was. I bet she hasn't had a chance.
Oh, she's not there. I'm looking at the minutes. Oh,
Becky,
there she is.
No, I'm here.
okay, have you had a chance to look into that? You were
I
gonna,
thought we resolved that. That's why I'm surprised it's still there. I thought we resolved it earlier.
I
I don't think we talked about it. We talked about,
Let me just check in my notes because and so I can figure
The
out.
minutes from May 30th, we had said that you, I thought in the May meeting, you said you were going to be researching it.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
and
Go
I
ahead.
will find my folder and be prepared for the next meeting.
Okay. So you have had a chance to talk to legal counsel about that?
I can't remember, Peg. It's
Oh,
been
okay,
really
okay.
hectic.
Alrighty, so we'll put that off till the next meeting. So is there anything else on people's minds? Something that should be in the agenda that we haven't put in the agenda?
I don't think so.
Can I just ask a question about that admin secretary position that you're still looking to fill?
Sure.
I don't know whether this is an option, but have you thought about using a temp? Like a temp to hire kind of a candidate?
That's how I got my first office job.
Yeah. No,
Yeah. That may be an option. Somebody gets to try you on while you try them on for
Yeah.
size and without actually committing, you know?
yeah.
That's how I got my first office job. So yeah, that worked out. It can work out well, especially if someone's not sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah, it is a good thought. Have you,
I think part of the heart, it's a position that could be particularly good for a resident.
Yeah.
And I think it's always been a resident, except for Geneva. And that worked out pretty good too. So yeah, I think that could work. The cost is usually quite a bit higher. I don't know how much. Thought
Yeah,
that-
and you might not have a volume advantage on the markup because it would be just the one
One
position, but
person. Right. Right.
yeah. Well, just a
Good
thought.
idea.
I'll check into it.
Sure.
all right, great.
So Kathy, do you think it's good practice to have a relationship with a temp agency for those situations when somebody does give their 2-week notice and scrams on us?
Yeah, I was a reluctant personnel director when we first started talking about using temp labor, but we did get into some situations where we were in a bind and we absolutely needed to fill certain critical positions. And I was lucky, we had a great relationship with an agency in Springfield, and they prioritized our needs, which was wonderful. I just picked up the phone and they'd send me what I needed. It was, and you know, of course, like I said, the volume made a big difference in terms of the markup that we were afforded. But it is nice to have a connection with someone who can, you know, who can get you some help right away.
And
You know,
were these positions typically full-time?
Both. We had full and part-time. Yeah. You know, maternity leave replacements sometimes, and sometimes just like an added 4 hours a day to kind of, you know,
Like
fill
a
in
seasonal.
if somebody was sick or whatever the case may
Or
be.
a seasonal sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, especially for like preparing for a town meeting or a special town meeting or I know that Grace has help now, but when voting comes along and I could see a benefit of having a relationship with an agency.
right.
But we also wouldn't have quite the pull of Smith and Wesson, almost.
Right, right.
And where we're located.
Close,
It's
close.
close.
Our name starts with S.
Well, actually, Smith and
Exactly.
Wesson, aren't
And
they
I'm
shut-
here now.
Right.
Oh yeah, you can make it.
No. I
Smith
can
and
make some
Wesson,
calls to the people that I worked with over the years. I know there was one gal who had worked for a larger agency and then went out on her own. She's in Central Mass, but she's been trying to branch out, and she had a great reputation. So I can reach out to her if only to see, you know, what do you think about our area and just a few possibly less than 2, you know, in a couple of years, open positions.
Yeah.
You know, she might just want to reach out to you, Becky, and just, you know, just share contact information, if nothing more for now.
Yep. No, that would be great.
Okay, I'll do that.
That would be
Uh,
wonderful.
Try everything.
Mhm. So Kathy, do you still work at Smith and Wesson?
No, I retired a couple of years ago after 43 years with them.
Wow, 43.
43
Yeah.
years, that's pretty
I-
amazing.
I was still in college and going to school at night, and just the place got under my skin and I never left.
I
Wow.
hear that
Well,
happens
there's
to
been a
lot
lot
of
of changes there since.
Well, I retired, which was a huge change.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, the move, half the company moved to Tennessee, which was a
Tennessee,
really
yeah.
big change. So, yeah.
They're still producing guns there in Springfield, though, right?
Yeah.
Handguns?
Yeah. They're still making all of the parts that they made in the past, and shipping some of them to Tennessee for assembly.
Right, because assault weapons and certain rifles can't be produced in Massachusetts anymore.
Right. Well, that's what they were anticipating. I'm not sure if that passed.
Oh,
I thought Maura Healy was looking to do that. I'm not sure if that passed, but
right.
I thought
I,
it. did, but
I
then-
haven't heard that it passed.
What? Who said what? Who said that? April or Becky?
Becky.
What'd you say, Becky?
I said I hadn't heard that they had banned the production of some of those firearms in Massachusetts. I heard it talked about more in the campaign, but I haven't seen anything.
right. That's what prompted the move, the
Nothing immediate.
anticipation of that passing, but I don't think it has either.
Hmm.
No, one of the engineers, he's still here in Massachusetts.
Is there anything else for tonight? I don't think so. So George, I want to say thank you for all of your time served. Much appreciated.
You're most welcome.
Knowledge, your experience, your humor.
That should be, we should ask people what their humor is before they join the personnel board. You have to be able to, it's heavy
Yeah.
topics we deal with, right? We have to have a little bit of humor
You
with them.
gotta go with them.
We do training,
That's right.
right?
We break them in. We'll see what Kathy's sense of humor is like after time.
Right.
It's twisted, I can tell you that.
Perfect.
Can't wait to hear. Now I don't want to leave.
Very
I'll hear about your sense of humor on finance.
Yes.
Well, it's been a pleasure working with all of you on the personnel board. It's been a blast. I'm going to work with all of you pretty much anyways. So maybe not you, Peg, but I'm definitely in a lot of other committees. So
I'll come to the FinCom and bug you or
I
something.
see you at town meetings for sure.
Come up.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so we are gonna meet on August 22nd, and I will get in touch with Grace about posting and doing all that.
Awesome.
Okay, it's been very easy because George has done it.
It won't be that hard. You'll figure it out. It's a little confusing, but once you learn the steps, it's
Okay.
it's not bad.
All right, well, we'll see how I do.
Yes.
And if
When you
you're
got
running-
backup, you
Oh,
can
you-
always reach out to me.
Okay.
You're not alone.
You
That's
might be
right.
sorry you said that, but we'll see. So, and congratulations to the Celtics, by the way, those of us who follow basketball. Yes.
What
yes.
happened?
They won the national. What do you?
Gee.
You live in the woods?
Out in the woods.
No, didn't that happen a while ago? Is this?
Yeah, they celebrated in finance committee about 6 weeks ago, right after.
Yeah, but yeah, you must have been. You were at the Cape.
That's right.
They weren't celebrating the Celtics winning the national championship at the Cape.
They got the
The NBA.
18th banner.
And basketball
Oh.
season goes now well into almost June, and hockey is somewhere in August or something.
Well,
so,
no,
you
they're
know,
pretty
that's-
much the same. They're neck and
I
neck.
know, I
They
remember
both
when it
start
was
the
an actual
playoffs.
winter sport.
I think the NHL playoffs finished within 5 days of the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, but they also they're really late in the year, where they used to be a little earlier. They're now later in the year.
Ah,
Right?
Well,
Yes.
that's just awesome news. I'm really happy.
well, I'm glad you are happy, April.
I'm getting a message that the internet connection is unstable. I wonder why.
You know, I got that during another meeting, not on here, I'm not on town, but I was on a Teams doesn't give you that the internet's unstable, but it was a Zoom, and And I was like, it's working fine, and my phone's fine, and it was just a weird little hiccup in the signal.
Huh.
I made George the co-host a while back because it I thought somebody froze up for a second, but then there it was okay. But I've been paranoid of it going down too.
Oh, one more thing. The result of the all board meeting, I mean, it was pretty much decided that Zoom was still working for almost all of us. It was gonna be hard to do the in person and Zoom at the same time because we'd have to have somebody from the meeting would have to be at the site. So did the select board, Melissa, did the select board write to the state about that? Is
Yeah,
that
we
what
wrote
happened?
the letter and outlining the concerns for that.
Okay,
That was
great.
largely discussed at the all boards meeting.
Yeah,
So at this point, we're just gonna be waiting to hear what the state
Yeah,
decides.
basically.
right.
And whatever they say, we'll follow. We have to, right? There's no
Right,
way around
let's
it.
hope it doesn't cost us a lot of equipment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there certainly was consensus at the all boards meeting. I mean, people were happy with as we are. I mean, it does work for this board quite well, as long as we have a screen share. And, and I think it was brought up, the amount of paper that you save when you can do it this way, not bringing tons of paper.
We probably should consider also not mailing out our newsletter and having people sign up for if they want it in their email, and those that don't or don't want to target a certain age because that's a lot of paper
Mhm.
too. Where those
Yeah,
go
an
in the
email with a
recycling
link.
bin, that's all just paper that's thrown out. So,
Right.
I think it's a great idea. And
yeah,
especially
save on
because,
postage, save on all that, and just print those who want to have it in the mail.
yeah, and on the finance committee, we found out that paper costs have really skyrocketed.
Oh, yeah, it has.
Yeah.
Toner costs, it's oil based, so toner costs and, you know, wear and tear on machines and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
So.
just the notice with a link is all you need.
Mhm.
And then anyone who wants it in paper or doesn't respond to that will get it in paper.
Yeah, or just
Yeah,
have a
Fully
request in the
accessible.
email, right? In
There
the
are
alert.
some people who are not online.
Oh yeah, and those people
Yeah.
can get it by mail, right? And we know who
Absolutely.
they are. We can figure out
Still,
who they
that's
are.
a fraction of the paper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Just think of all that, like I don't know, the last time I went to buy, well, for work, I buy paper for the field offices, and it's $50 for each case, and that's on a high discount because we have a high volume.
What did it used to be before
Um,
COVID?
it was probably $38,
Wow, that's a
so it's
big
gone up,
jump.
you know.
Yeah.
So, and but our company negotiates with Staples to get low prices on all the stuff we use regularly.
Well, I'll
you
tell
know.
you, Melissa, on the finance committee, the amount of paper that is saved, it's just phenomenal because every department used to print a copy of their budget for, the details of their budget for every member of the finance committee. And I'd walk out of finance committees back in the day with a stack of paper every meeting. What do you do with that after a while? It just ends up accumulating in the house. And so it was just so wasteful.
And
So-
then also, if you cut down, we have that one big copier in town hall, no one needs no one no one needs a printer on every desk in town hall. If you have the big printer, so you're saving on all that toner, all that cost.
Yeah, less wear and tear.
Yeah. So as printers wear out, well, they start to go onto the big machine, and that's their printer. We have a corporate office, and we have 3 printers in the whole building, and they're all central printers.
Wow.
And it saves a lot of money on
I think the
individual
school works that
towns.
way too. I think, they've got the main printer in the library.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot, well, I'm sure they have others, but the classes use that printer in the library.
That was the one
District-
complaint I had when I was working at home was all of a sudden when I needed to sign documents, I had to print them, sign them, scan them. So I was actually using a lot of my own paper.
Yeah,
There's a trick with that too. You can scan your signature and you can put a picture in a document.
Yeah, well, a lot of people, that's true. And a lot of people are also going to approval apps,
Yeah, DocuSign or something like that.
Right,
Yeah,
DocuSign, exactly.
those are great. Yeah, we use that. That's how where I work, we sign all contracts and all change orders.
It was that way pretty much at the end.
Yeah.
but there was still, we did business with, we had contracts with a lot of states and they had a lot of clauses and things
It
we
had to
had
be
to
paper.
sign.
Yeah, wet signature.
And they wanted to what's, you know, they were still a little behind in the technology.
I think getting back to Zoom meetings, I think one thing that it does do, it makes volunteering easier. You know,
Oh, it can. Yeah,
that you
I
can,
agree.
it really opens it up to volunteers and to participation.
Yeah, well, and if
Huge.
participation from more volunteers, more interaction with the public, if you will, because it was easier for people. And a lot of time, I travel a lot. You know, I have a kid on the West Coast, and I was in a lot of meetings from San Francisco, and some of those meetings were really important, and I was so happy that I was able to be in them.
Mm.
Well, it enabled me to tune in from eating dinner, or the couple times I think I've done them in a car. You know,
Right.
so
So here we are, a new age.
You know, when I started my career, I would have never dreamed that we'd be doing business this way.
Nor I.
Mm-mm.
no, I don't think I had a hint about it until Amherst College went paperless in their application forms. That's when I was like, oh, this is going to change everything.
Yeah,
Mm.
Because
awesome.
nothing was, I mean, it really hurt the post office for all colleges to go digital, because now you weren't sending 20 envelopes to each college you were applying to, right? You're doing it all online. So
Mm.
that mail, you know, just from Amherst College, the 10,000 applications that had, you know, 40 different components, all those envelopes are now no longer in there. That's just one college. I mean, UMass, all of them. So that really hurt the post office. There's Christmas time, Christmas cards followed by application season, and that's
Mhm.
gone. You know, so
Times are changing.
Yeah, they
It
sure
is.
are.
it is
For the
cheap.
better.
All right.
Some things are for the better.
I was gonna say, George, that's qualified a bit.
Yeah, that's qualified.
Let's
Four
qualify it.
things are better. I don't know.
Four things are better.
Well, I think that
We
it's,
probably should take our vote to adjourn.
Okay.
yeah, I
We're
was just
getting
gonna
punchy.
suggest that. All those in
Overnight aside.
favor? Ross, aye.
Maybe Sonia
April?
Oh, Steinai.
Oh, maybe that was me.
Yeah.
Salvador,
It's
I.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah, April's gonna have to always be waiting for you, Kathy.
I know. Sorry, I missed my
Forever.
cue.
Both committees.
That's right.
I think
Well,
it's
take
kind
care,
of go
everybody.
naturally live
Okay.
better.
Yes,
George.
thank
It's
you,
been fun.
George.
Bye. Thank you, George.
All right, best
We're
wishes.
having fun.
Bye-bye.
Always.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good evening.
Good evening.